They cuffed her right there, barefoot on the gravel, her perfect blouse streaked with dust, screaming that the land was hers. The same land she tried to steal from me with forged signatures and fake county seals. I didn't say a word. I just sipped my coffee and watched the wind tear that bright red condemned sticker off my gate, like a final laugh from the universe. That was the moment the war ended. The HOA queen had fallen, and all I had to do was stand still and let the desert do what it always does, bury the noise and let the truth breathe. When I bought those 3 acres of dusty Arizona soil, I wasn't chasing trouble. I was chasing quiet, a place where the past wouldn't echo off the motel walls or cling to my boots after a night shift. After a failed marriage and a few too many years hopping between cheap rentals, I needed something solid, something that felt like home in a world that kept shuffling the deck against me. So I checked every file, every zoning code. Triple confirmed that the land was outside the Sun Mesa Ridge HOA. Freedom on paper, and I thought that meant freedom in real life. I should have known better. The first week of construction, it felt like maybe the curse was broken. Trucks rolled in at sunrise, generators hummed, and for the first time in years, I caught myself smiling just listening to the sound of hammers instead of highway sirens. Then, just after lunch on day 2, a white SUV glided down my driveway like a shark in shallow water. Out stepped a woman so put together she looked like she could snap if the wind changed, blonde bob, crisp white blouse with the HOA logo stitched at the breast, clipboard tucked under one arm like a sheriff's badge. I'm Karen West, president of the Sun Mesa Ridge Homeowners Association, she announced, not even glancing at the dust on her shoes. She sounded like she expected the whole desert to stand at attention. You're in violation of community standards. Construction must stop immediately. I blinked. This property isn't part of your community, ma'am. I've got city permits. You have no authority here. She smiled, a cold, pitying thing. All adjoining properties fall under review for aesthetic compliance, she said, tapping her pen. Your equipment is unsightly. Your workers haven't signed visitor agreements. Her voice could have frozen diesel. I told her to leave. She promised she'd be back with officials next time. The SUV spun a plume of dust across my boots as she left. And right then, I realized I hadn't met a neighbor. I'd met a problem in heels. 2 mornings later, my generator sputtered and died mid-cut. Bright orange sticker on the electrical panel. Service terminated by utility authority. Except I wasn't even on the grid yet. The power company rep was baffled when I called. Sir, the order came from your homeowners association. Violation of community restrictions. My pulse didn't spike, it slowed. There is no homeowners association, I said, flat as the desert. She read my parcel number back, perfectly correct. Someone had faked a request, forged my consent. That wasn't confusion. That was sabotage. By noon, I had the backup generator humming and my crew back on task, but I knew I wasn't building a house anymore. I was walking onto a battlefield. The next 3 days, chaos moved in slow motion. City inspectors, one after another, noise complaints, waste disposal, environmental hazard. Each left empty-handed, shaking their heads. One muttered, "These reports all come from the same HOA number." I didn't say a word, but inside, something heavy and cold settled in my gut. That night, I pulled out every file I'd saved. Deeds, maps, permits. Everything clean as a whistle. Still, next morning, I drove down to the Maricopa County Recorder's office. The clerk, Daniel, a kind man, late 40s, the sort who remembers faces, scanned my parcel and frowned. There's a boundary adjustment request filed last month by Sun Mesa Ridge HOA, he said. On what authority? I asked. They submitted an annexation form. Signed by you. He handed me the printout. My signature, blocky, not even centered right, notarized by a guy who'd been dead for 8 years. I looked Daniel dead in the eye. That's a felony. He nodded, careful. You should talk to a lawyer. So I did. And that's when I decided, if this was going to be a war, I'd fight it by the book. My book. Every call, every city visit, every new little trick, I logged it. I built a case like I build houses, one nail at a time. Meanwhile, the harassment got creative. Garbage bags dumped along my fence. Machines vandalized. Deep tire tracks where there shouldn't be any. My security cameras caught headlights at 2 a.m., then shadows darting out of frame. The sheriff's deputy just shrugged. Probably kids. I didn't laugh. These kids file legal overlays? He grinned. I didn't. When I finally checked the local HOA message board, Sun Mesa Connect, there it was. A post titled, Suspicious Man Building Illegal Structure. Picture of me, hammer in hand, zoomed in from the road. The caption accused me of building a storage hub or a criminal hideout. Comments were uglier. One said, he's armed and unstable. Another claimed my trucks were coming from Mexico. Karen herself commented, the HOA is coordinating with authorities. Remain vigilant. A witch hunt, dressed in yoga pants. So, I stopped talking and started collecting. License plates, badge, numbers, timestamps. I hired a security firm, upgraded the cameras, had my lawyer file a formal injunction. The quieter I got, the louder they got. Then, one night, the silence cracked for good. 1:42 a.m. Two men in reflective vests snipped my chain lock, rolled a black van inside, pasted a red condemned sticker on my panel, snapped photos, and left. 10 minutes later, Karen showed up. Jeans, windbreaker, flashlight, barking orders like she was running a SWAT raid. What they didn't see was the infrared camera 5 feet away, recording every second in HD. By dawn, I'd sent the footage to my lawyer, the sheriff, and the local news tip line. When a real deputy showed up that morning, she looked at the sticker, at my footage, and said, "This isn't official." I played the clip. She watched Karen point, direct, command. "That's your HOA president," she said, voice low. "Yeah," I said. "Still think this is about property values." By noon, we'd filed charges, falsification, trespassing, impersonation of an official. But Karen? She doubled down. 2 days later, another inspection. 2 men, fake environmental officers. I handed over county-certified soil results and recorded the whole exchange. Sent it all to a county investigator named Dana Kessler. That's when the real twist dropped. Dana met me in person. We've been watching Sun Mesa Ridge for years. She admitted. Minor fraud, untraceable fines, ghost payments. But nothing ever stuck until me. My evidence, she said, tied all the threads together. Karen wasn't just power-hungry. She'd built a paper empire on forged documents and intimidation. My case was the crack that let sunlight pour in. Within a week, subpoenas landed. County inspectors documented every sticker, every fake seal. Local news ran the headline. HOA under investigation for forgery and harassment. Then Karen vanished. No meetings, no statements, just gone. But the whispers started. Residents found HOA funds spent on espresso machines, golf memberships, and, yep, private cameras pointed at my lot. Someone even found a motion-activated camera nailed to an old Apollo Verde tree near my driveway. That same afternoon, sheriff's deputies raided the HOA office. I watched from the curb as they carried out boxes marked Financials 2022. By sunset, the HOA's legal authority was on ice. The next morning, I got a certified letter, Karen's last move, a cease and desist, claiming I'd defamed her and endangered her safety. I laughed so hard my coffee went cold. My attorney replied, with a paragraph listing her felonies, CC'd the county prosecutor, and that was the end of that. But she couldn't help herself. A week later, I found my gate chained up again. New sticker, new padlock. This time, though, the cops were already waiting for her. I watched from across the street as they approached her door. She burst out, red-faced, screaming about terrorism and government conspiracy. The deputy just nodded, said something calm, then snapped the cuffs. When they led her past me, she stopped struggling, just for a second, and met my eyes. She didn't look powerful anymore. She looked small, shrunk inside her own skin. They found everything. Forged annexation papers, violation slips pre-filled with my name, maps expanding the HOA's boundaries. Career, she said. I didn't feel triumphant. Just quiet. Sometimes silence weighs more than applause. 67 days later, I saw Karen again, in court. Beige suit, pale face, eyes hollowed out. The judge played the footage. Her cutting the lock, planting the sticker, directing the fake inspectors. Her lawyers blamed administrative confusion. The judge just arched an eyebrow sharp enough to split stone. When I took the stand, I laid out my documents, certified deeds, zoning maps, notarized affidavits. By the time I finished, even the bailiff looked impressed. Karen didn't speak. Not once. The verdict was clean and brutal. 6 counts: trespass, falsification, harassment, obstruction, conspiracy, fraud. 2 years probation, 500 hours of community service, lifetime ban for many. No signatures forged on anything. On the gate, I bolted a brass sign, nothing fancy. Private property, not part of any HOA. Trespassers will be prosecuted. And below, in smaller letters, day in a system that lets power twist the truth until somebody fights back hard enough. Drop your thoughts below. Tell me, what does real justice look like to you? Have you ever seen power finally